Hello and welcome to the next lesson. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to prepare the attack by accumulating small advantages. Small advantages like open file, maybe a square near the central square, or maybe by creating small weaknesses near the opponent's king. We accumulate these small advantages and using these small advantages, then we launch the attack. Let's look at the first example. In this position, we are white, and here white played pawn to c5. White here sacrificed a pawn. Why? White wants, let's say, if black plays knight cross c5, obviously black is going to take the pawn. Then we play knight cross c5. Black will play d cross c5. So white has sacrificed the pawn, and in return, we have this open file. Now that's a small advantage. Look, our rooks are active and black's rook are not active. We got our first advantage. And what we do? We play rook to d7. Our rook on the 7th rank is more active than the black's rook, and that's how we accumulate small advantages. Okay, so black goes queen b6, and the queen and these rooks and the knight, they are passive, they are away from the king, and we want to make this king vulnerable. So we play pawn to f5, we sacrifice one more pawn, we want to open the king. So obviously black is not going to play g cross f5, otherwise king will become very vulnerable. Okay, so black played e cross f5 and we play e cross f5, and the reason black played e cross f5 is this. Black wants to play queen f6 so that queen is near the king, and once the queen is into the defense, then it will be hard for white to attack the black's king. And now we collect one more small advantage. Okay, we improve the position of our dark squared bishop. We play bishop f4. We make our bishop slightly more active. We are attacking the rook, so rook must go to a8. How do we continue the progress? Now we play knight to d5. You see, knight on d5 will be more active than the knight on c3. So there we go. And black plays queen cross f5. Now we are down how many pawns? 2 pawns. But look what we have in return. Both of our rook are more active than the opponent's rook. Our bishop is more active than the opponent's bishop. Our knight is way more active than the opponent's knight. And our king is more safe than the opponent's king, because there are some dark square weakness near the black's king. Once you keep accumulating these small advantages, there will come a point where your pieces will be way more superior than your opponent's pieces. And during this time, tactics will work in your favor. Always remember, tactics flows from superior positions. If your pieces are more active than your opponent's pieces, then tactics will work in your favor. So the process is, keep accumulating these small advantages, make your pieces more active than your opponent's pieces, and then tactics will work in your favor. And here white has a strong tactic. White can play bishop h6. If black plays bishop cross h6, then we play knight e7 check, forking the king and the queen, winning the game immediately. So black played queen e6. Black cannot really capture our bishop, and black wants to exchange the queens. Once the queens are exchanged, it will be difficult for us to checkmate the black's king. But here our pieces are so active that we don't even need the queen to attack the black's king. We can attack the black's king using our knights, rooks and bishops. So here white played queen cross e6. White said, okay, let's exchange the queens. Knight cross e6, and now we take advantage of this dark square weakness. We play knight to f6 check, attacking the king. King goes to h8. And look at our pieces, look at our rooks. Our rooks are more active than the black's rook. Our knight is more active than the black's knight. And we want to exchange this dark squared bishop so that the dark squares near the black's king becomes weak. Okay, so here we play rook cross f7. We are threatening rook cross h7 checkmate. Black played bishop g7, And now we play bishop cross g7, knight cross g7. And we bring our another rook to d7. Now both of these rooks are very powerful. We are threatening rook cross b7 and rook cross g7. And black cannot play a move like rook to g8 because then we simply capture the rook. So here black plays rook f8. Black is trying to exchange one of the rooks. If we capture the knight, then black is also going to capture our knight. And there is also a threat of the backrank checkmate, and we don't want to give any counterplay to black. So here we play rook cross b7. And the idea is after rook cross f7, rook cross f7. Black's pieces are stuck. The knight cannot move because then we play rook cross h7 checkmate. And the king also cannot move. Black does not have many moves left. Black is reduced to moving his pawns. Otherwise, there will be checkmate to the black's king. And that's why black resigned in this position. Material is equal, but our pieces are so active that black here resigned. Let's see why. Let's say black plays a move like rook b8. Black hits our b2 pawn. But we don't have to worry about it because after king g1, black cannot really capture our pawn. Because then we play rook f8 checkmate. So black needs to keep his rook on the 8th rank. Black cannot capture our pawns. And let's say black starts pushing these pawns, h5. No problem. We just bring our king to near to these pawns and we capture them. Black plays h4 and we first stop this. Okay, black does not have any piece moves, so black pushes his pawns. We play b3, black plays a5 and we play king e2. Now black has exhausted his pawn moves. He cannot move any pawn without losing material. He plays rook d8, we play king f3. Maybe he can give a check with the rook, we go king e4 and the rook has to go back because the rook needs to guard this 8th rank. Otherwise we play rook f8 and it will be a checkmate. So we go king e5. Let's say rook goes to c8 and we go king d8. Now the material loss is inevitable. If black moves any of the pawn, black will lose material. If black cannot move the knight, otherwise it will be a checkmate. Black cannot move the king. And so black is reduced to moving the rook. We just simply capture the pawn. Okay. Black can give these checks. We can capture all these pawns. And black cannot even capture our pawns. Okay. So the position is completely lost for black. Let's see this formula in one more game. Remember, keep collecting small advantages so that your pieces become much more active than opponent's pieces. And once your pieces are more active than opponent's pieces, then tactics will work in your favor. In this position, we are white and here we play pawn to g3. And the idea is we want to play pawn h4, then we want to go pawn h5, then we want to take on g6 so that we create some weakness near the opponent's king. That's our plan. Black played a5. Black is playing on the queen side and we play pawn h4. We are continuing with our plan. Black played bishop g7. Black wants to exchange this active rook. So we exchange it. And now we play knight to e4. Look, this knight was active on the c5 also, but we want to bring this knight to g5 near to the black's king, where it will help us to attack the king. Black plays queen d7 and we play knight to g5 check. The king must move and now we exchange the bishops. Once the dark squared bishop has been exchanged, then we can use these dark squares to attack the black's king. Okay, but right now we need to further activate our pieces. Okay, so here white played rook e5. Rook was active on e1 also, but rook on e5 is more active. Later we can shift the rook to the king side also. That's one small advantage. Our rook is more active than the opponent's rook. Black played h6. Black wants to kick away our knight. We bring it back to the center. Now black plays queen e7 and we play queen e2. Okay, look, the queen was active on d3 also, but from e2 the queen is going to put pressure on the e6. So that's one more slight advantage to us. The weakness of e6, we are going to attack it. Black plays a4 and we go back to c5. We want to attack on e6. We are slowly preparing our attack. We want to attack the e6 pawn also, and we also going to prepare an attack on the king side. Black's pieces will be tied down to the defense of the e6 pawn. Both the rook and the queen is tied down to the defense of the e6 pawn. And black plays knight c7. Black overprotects e6 so that his pieces can move little bit, like the queen can go to f7. And now we play queen e4. Queen was already active on e2, but from e4 queen is more active, because not only you are attacking the e6 pawn, you are also targeting c6 and g6 weakness also. Okay, this is how you slowly build the attack. Just improve your pieces little bit. Improve the queen 2 steps, then improve the little bit rook. Slowly you will notice that your advantage is getting bigger and bigger. Black plays queen d6 to protect the pawn, and now we play pawn to h5. Remember, if we want to attack the king, we need to remove the pawn cover of the king. Here we don't have a piece sacrifice, so we are using our pawn to remove the pawn cover of the opponent's king. And black cannot play a move like g5, because then we invade in the opponent's king. Once the queen invades in the opponent's territory, then it's game over. We are going to pick up the h5 pawn, and we are also going to pick up the g5 pawn. So here black played g cross h5, and we play rook cross h5. And now the king has become exposed. Now we are ready to shift our pieces from attacking the e6 pawn to attacking the king. So the first step is the rook. We are targeting the h6 pawn. Black plays rook f8. Black wants to bring his rook to defend it. So we first give check. And look, 2 moves ago, okay, the queen and the rook were hitting the e6 pawn. And now 2 moves later, we are trying to target the king. This is how you shift the attack. Once the weakness has been created near the king, we try to exploit it. King goes to h7 and knight. Now we want the knight to join the attack. So we play knight e4. Okay. Black cannot play a move like queen cross d4, because then after knight g5 check, we are going to take the queen. So black plays queen e7. Black is also trying to bring his pieces into the defense. And now we play knight g5 check. And black resigned here. There is no good defense. If black plays a move like king h8, then we simply play rook cross h7 and black's king is dead. If black plays a move like, let's say, king g6, then we have this discovered attack. We can play knight cross e6 check and win lots of material. So black is going to lose the game, and that's why black resigned in the game. This method of accumulating small advantages is very powerful against higher rated opponents. This method is mainly used because strong opponents do not make a big mistake easily. So you try to take advantage of small inaccuracies. You slowly take advantage of opponent's small moves, and you will notice that after few moves, your position is much better than the opponent's position. Your pieces are much more active than the opponent's pieces. And that's how you prepare the attack. Now it's time to go to the next lesson.